All right, welcome on back, hot dog. I didn't have to delete a video to make this video. So, anyways, happy Monday, happy MLK Day, a great day in history. Hold on. Where protests were peaceful and insistently so, and it helped to finally get, and I'd say just the start of equality for people with very dark skin versus, I don't know, I still don't know what the politest way to do it. Like I hear people say like, oh, I don't want to be judged, or Black History Month is racist in itself because it's like, why we gotta need to beat a horse to death, like, or whatever. But I just think it's funny. So action now on Martin Luther King Day, like the modern struggle is immigrants and really understanding the bigger picture of like why people are coming here in such great numbers. How could we make it safer for people back home and make it to where they don't have to flee? And really, because I've talked to people, like the gangs down there are kind of getting ridiculous, and they need to be able to like first be given a chance to assimilate and then work towards like fixing everything. You can't just rip things out. Like, I mean, you can try, but it just causes problems for everyone. Also, so why am I rambling about this? Because it's all about the hippie farms and the capybara cannabis cafes. Like, it's hilarious because like that is the total like South Park way that the world would get fixed. Like, a Matt Stone and Trey Parker. And I will go to Casa Bonita very soon. Hmm. I gotta wait until my finances settle down a little bit. I mean, kids are still expensive, and they got college coming up, so gotta focus on the dream. But like, I'm getting some things put together. Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm gonna test out an OnlyFans for like an educational account. Use it for what it's supposed to be intended for, in a corn account. Like I'll keep my shirt on and everything, but and then again, maybe not. Like, I mean, in the future, I might get sleazy with it, but with the idea, like 100% complete funding, I'm just a pass through. Well, actually, even better, I get the intrinsic value of seeing the reaction on people's faces, like the gift of charity and like all that. But basically, what I want to do is just funnel the money completely through to buy computers for families, and like, and this project, the hippie farms and the capybara cafes, even just starting out just like capybaras and coffee, which could be totally fine. So I'm talking to some friends with family down. There's some friends who have family down in Mexico. And I know, like, I mean, it's just a stone's throw away. Like, anybody down there can talk to the cartels and stuff. And, like, if there's a common goal of, like, eliminating fentanyl out of the equation, just getting rid of it, but then facilitating ulterior markets. So, as is the war on drugs has made black markets for cannabis and mushrooms, and, of course, everything else. But and that everything else really, like, meth and heroin are like the really big dangerous ones, and the heroin is usually a byproduct of huge demand from people like that get prescribed opiates, and so that's like a whole nother issue that I think RFK Jr. intends to fix. I really hope he gets sworn in or whatever the heck. Like, I feel like this is just ridiculous. Like, this much pushback is petty. I mean, like, yeah, he's got some pretty, like, I'm drinking a Mountain Dew right now. I used to drink 4 liters of this every night. Hmm. Officer Farmer said, "Yeah, I'll get a liter of cola." Well, um, sorry, throws us a little gummy, but anyways, yeah. Well, anyways, in the movie Super Troopers, Farva asked for a liter of cola at a burger place, and he's like, well, "I don't think we sell liter cola. Just give me a liter of cola. Like, is that a large? Is that a?" And all he had to do was just be like, "Okay, And then it just got out of hand. He's like, "Don't you just want a large Farva?" "I don't want a large Farva. I want a liter of cola." Someone's just having a bad day, and they take it out on those poor gents. Like, again, why I think it was so important that Method Man did that in his video. I'd be on that bullish, like, because even with all the hype and everything and the gangster and like, you got to respect the people serving your food. Like, you know, you're out there having a good time. They're not. They're stuck there serving people that come by and get all angry. That's why, like, I mean, so I go to Wendy's a lot, right? And like the guy, like, I think he's like a shift manager or something. He usually looks like more dressed up than anyone else, but like he always gives me like a big old smile, like appreciates my business. Like, He's like, oh, cool, it's this guy. This guy's just chill or whatever. And it's like that unspoken, oh, what? How are you gonna kill my jerk? Where did she run off to? Man, that sucks. So, but anyways, got direct connections with people in Mexico. Like they would work and like protect these capybaras, facilitate the dealing of capybaras, and really shifting into so it's kind of like Breaking Bad, where they have like the focus on rehab after all of the dust settles from the big drug war and all that. And, and people are all hooked, and there's just meth running rampant in the streets, and the thing is like hippies knew it back in the day. I mean, it's always funny, like they're just characterized as like such dangerous criminals, and it's like no, they're the most peaceful, most concerned with society, and often the most educated. Like, it drives me nuts, and that's why a lot of them, speak Spanish and know a lot of like Spanish people, and like, and something I picked up on in Redman's videos, like, or on the new album too. He talks about he had his like slanging days. And, so like we're technically colleagues with the cartels. Like I mean, indirectly, like I don't agree with all the murder and violence and stuff, but aside from that, like, they're almost doing a business and like, and it's funny because Ronald Reagan was one of the biggest customers accidentally. No, he was the biggest accomplices unknowingly. It was his administration, and then like his solution was, say no to drugs. Like, oh, it's you're the problem, you're the fault. If you're seeking substances, then blah de blah de blah. Now I'm definitely not saying like you shouldn't be doing any drugs, and like I like it best how my buddy put it, and he's now a cop down in Denver, and his dad was the chief of police and all this, like like big time proponent of law and order, as it were. Actually, I'm gonna go with this one today. And he said, weed and shrooms. Like, I like to stay natural. I feel like natural, that makes sense. All that other stuff, you can get a lot of problems. And I agree. Like, I mean, it's fine for people, like, go on vacation, test it out or something, like, just so they don't get that FOMO and make them bitter for the rest of their life. But honestly, it's really not that bad, especially, compared to, like, what happens if you get caught with any of it. Like, oh, it's ridiculous. Or if you spend too much money on it. Like, that's the other thing. And so... And the hippie farms, the hippie farms would guaranteed bring down substance abuse. Now, substance use, I don't know, but I consider any kind of substance abuse when it starts becoming a problem for other people, and that's what police and law enforcement corrections are out there trying to fix. They don't want you being a nuisance. They don't want you being a jerk to people. They don't want you to like cause danger or rip them off or cause financial hardship or anything that could be considered dangerous or bad or negative. So that doesn't mean you can't have your cake and eat it too, though. And I think RFK Jr. He's not gonna like just go out and legalize everything. That the cartels are gonna be like totally okay and happy overnight. But Trump's been saying some big things about like going to war with the cartels, like just to eradicate. And it's fentanyl. That's what it is. It's fentanyl. If we could all agree, no more fentanyl. Just X that out. Just like we did chlorofluorocarbons when like the greenhouse gases first got and independent of what's going on today, but like back they noticed like holes in the ozone layer. Like we're like, oh hey, that's that O3. We can't get that back. So and the world agreed. All right, no more hairspray, 80s rock music bullish. Like they not be on that bullish. And again, I'm not gonna swear in case like some kid stumbles on this. I'm proper like that. I gotta be. I'm a dad, and I'm under scrutiny too. Like I divulged on the Eminem post, which was way too long. I'm glad they didn't kick me out of the group. Like, welcome to the group. Here's a book. And then like, no, because I mean, I'm probably not gonna say much anymore. Like, I'll interact a little bit, but to be honest, I don't have that same fandom for Eminem like I do Redman and Method Man. And I guess that's more just because like I just have such good memories of listening to them and going up into the woods and we went out and like had we call them safety meetings, and we did that at the ski resort too. Like we'd go up, like actually I want these things. We're gonna get juiced. Ah. So, but anyways, we would have safety meetings and like the bosses of the departments would go and smoke some bud in this tent, and then we'd go back to our jobs and like did it just fine. Like it was never a problem. Managed a ski resort, happy, friendly. If it was a problem, then it was a problem. That was just it. Like people didn't care what you were doing. Oh, okay, I take that to a point, and then I had to transfer departments. I'd be on that bullish. And today too, I might do a couple more of these, but I think I'm gonna get into Doom and Doom Classic. I never really played Doom a lot. Man, I was trying to do the do, and I was one-handed, like got sucked into all that. More chili. Oh, why not? Oh yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, that's 80. Really, two of the large pots would be best, and then three, of course. Ooh, but I mean, 120. That's not bad. Plus, this can repair. Oh, I completely forgot we were supposed to be treasure hunting. I hope somebody got it. Like, I mean, because anyone can see it. If they stumble upon it, they'd be like, "Oh, hey, that's one of those things." But I don't. Same with like the airdrop thing. Oh, anyways, back to the plans with Mexico and deportation. So basically, a lot of people are already on this, and I think like Mr. Beast would be really down to support something like this. Like, yeah, there's the hype of TikTok, but there's also the hype of like mass deportations coming in soon. And so, what if we just shift the produce, the farms, the markets just on the other side of the border with Mexico, make it like very profitable for Mexico, and then have a bunch of that money just stay there and go south, right? Like fix the economies. And then, and again, if we can just agree, no more fentanyl, no más fentanales. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it's fentanyl is. I don't know what it is. But it's just that one thing that we just can't do it. I mean, and then opiates will be gone next, like no heroin either. But it's the fentanyl that's killing people. I mean, drugs were just a nuisance before, and like it really is a nuisance when it becomes an economical, or I guess it's like religious because it is like hocus pocus. Like I've seen people do all sorts of crazy drugs and be normal, polite people when they needed to be. Like they behaved when they had to. They'd go let down on the weekends or take a week and go off into the woods, like whatever. I mean, I guess maybe that's the difference. Is like the mountains, we have a bunch of place to just like decompress and be weird, and then you come back and you just like totally chill, low key guy that does care about the right things to care about. Oh, ow. Oh, but I feel like this is a trap. No? Oh, ho, ho, ho. We got some stuff on this one. Although I'm really not, I'm very hit or miss with this thing. And I feel like some of them, they were just like charity shots. Like I should have missed. And like Fortnite's like, you know what? You're trying hard. Here you go. I'll allow it. Oh, and then that's a funny thing. So on the X app, I said I'll allow it for revenge porn, which I'm not okay with. I did not mean to say that. And I actually edited, like, my response was like, wait, I didn't see it before I reposted. I'm not, oh, that's just uncommon. Oh, well. It looked gold in there. Sorry, it's just like, ugh. Anyways, so I corrected and I was like, I support adult work, and I am, and I'm working on like, so at the same time, I'm helping a lot of like the older generation get their multi-factor set up and understand the concept of multi-factor, but it's only a select audience so far. It's the people that work with my company. So I'm expanding that this summer with a bunch of other volunteers, and we're going to start a network of IT support for the community, for the elderly and families of the elderly to check in with and get like remote hands-on training with just how to troubleshoot and how to like protect themselves, how to have a good security posture, how to understand. I see my voice is cracking out. That's hilarious. I'm almost 40 and it's like I'm going through puberty. Hold on, let me get it all clear out. I got two kids that I know of. I'm really not concerned about all that. If I were to go tomorrow, my only regret would be the Walter White regret. Like I need X amount of dollars so my kids can afford college. But I mean, so President Trump, he got sworn in today. Love him or hate him, like he wants to give free school, free bachelors, including people that have already gone partially. That's going to lift so many people out of at least the stress of having student loans. And it's fixing student loans, but it's fixing it a business way. And I can respect that. Like, make that money make sense. Conmouth Kings was on it. Like, they had this lyric, if it ain't making dollars, then it ain't making sense. And, that's just profound. Um, oh, shoot, I was going to respond to something. Anyways, I gotta be careful. So like with the OnlyFans thing, like we'll see. But I want to like, so I'm expanding the public IT, and I wanted to start doing it like public libraries. I need to reach out to my public library, although I feel a little guilty because I kept the last library book way too long. Had no intention of finishing it, but I kind of wanted to. And like, I just need to temper my expectations. Like, understand that I used to read a lot, you know, particularly in times when I didn't really have a lot else going on, like jail. So, I mean, I had opportunity. So, and I think that's part of the balance. We need to make that opportunity. Same with like, I'm also doing a lot of like project work, like coding, but I'll spend like 3 or 4 hours doing the simplest of stuff and still get nowhere. But like have that good feeling like, oh, I did a lot of nerdy things. Who's okay? A couple bots again, just fighting it out. I mean, I just completely whiffed with this thing. I don't know. Now I remember in like Unreal. Wait, what were we talking about? Anyways, the deportations and temporary housing. Like if I have a blueprint or a plan, capybara cafes it could be the first point, and then a bigger picture, and then lay that out. And really, I think I could get. It's just a matter of convincing the right people to invest in just like a basic blueprint with like a plan for the future, a business plan, and then have like boots on the ground workers locally to build it and support it because it has to be done from the inside out and it has to empower. And that's why I'm saying like the focus should be empowering all of America to be great. Juntos somos más fuertes. Sí, verdad. Like together we are stronger, and like this problem's not going to go away, and treating people like trash isn't going to help it. Like, and regardless of what they do, like, okay, there's that one dude that lit that lady on fire. That was messed up. That dude needs like to get like pistol whipped, like belt whipped, like, and he would get handled by his people, like whatever, if given the choice. Now we've got everybody locked up for stupid things like substance crimes, like, and I think I said it just on the last one. As the generations die out, it's going to be in the hands of the people that grew up with like, wait, this isn't all that bad. Like, we're I don't think it's ever gonna hit him. Oh, almost. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Um, Already loading guy. Ah, dang it, he's behind the house. I mean, I got all day with these bullets, but so vehicle went by. People shooting up there probably. Oh, is he coming at me? Oh. Okay, back to what I was doing, but very important work. Ah, I think they're still up there. Ah, a Tesla, thank you. Well, let's go see what this guy had. Actually, do I need anything? I got like full ammo with everything. Excuse me. Sorry, that's Mountain Dew. Already, I can see the negative effects. No, I'm just kidding. If I'm not careful, I'll lose a leg. My football coach, he's now got one leg. I feel terrible. And like, and it's interesting because like one of our other football teammates, my teammate, he said he was allergic to sugar, and now he's a retired NFL player with like tens of millions in contracts, like doing a football camp, planning on becoming a preacher and just like do like living the best life. I don't know, and I'm still like leery with Christianity as is, like Judean, or with Jesus, not Judean. Sorry, speaking out of turn. Oh wait, the gas is almost empty. But no, like, sorry, the idea that Jesus was God. I mean, I think if you just like take that one little part out, I think everything fixes it fixes everything. Like, Islam's like, oh, okay, Jesus was just a dude. Good, cool. Your God isn't different than my God. It's all God. Let's give respect to the Creator, even if it's Lisa and we're Lisa's tooth, or Bender as God, and then talking to the real God or whatever, which is just like in the cosmos floating around, watching us do all this stupid crap. like I wonder what he thought about with MTV back in the Johnny Knoxville days. Like he's probably just shaking his head, like flooded again, like all that. Uh, if he or she exists, and that's why I like Dogma, because I like did the whole idea like, what if God was a woman? Like, oh, there'd be a lot of embarrassed people be like, oh snap, I'm so sorry. Like people apologizing. Also, I saw the new Bad Boys the other day. That was awesome. Like all those movies, right in the feels. But and my super MAGA buddy that's like super stoked, and he should be like he won. Um, Now that Trump's like in presidency again, but like we used to watch Bad Boys. And I've always been a very more on the liberal side. Drives him wild or drives him crazy. Oh, what the? What a dang? What a dang? All right. Oh, it's another one. Shall we have a Tesla fight? Oh, almost got him. Like three more shots. Oh, he looks like the Joker or something. Can we get a closer look? Oh, he's got like an Easter egg. I like it. That's sick. Good GG's. GG's. If I had to lose to somebody. Mm. And he had a crown. All right. Oh, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about. So I saw some dudes, they were shoveling the sidewalks and everything, and I almost wanted to grab them like a bag of bud and be like, hey, thank you. Like, it's a different time. But then I started thinking, okay, wait a minute. What if they're underage, and this and that? And so then that's very strictly looked down upon here in Colorado. Like, so I rethought about it. And now, like, I think, coordinating these hippie farms, um, and even if it just starts out as capybara cafes, doesn't even have to have the cannabis. Like, but since cannabis is legal recreationally, I just think that like the capybara cafes, and it would give a lot of chance for like a lot of Central and South to just kind of like come together, fix these problems together. And again, I will say it again and again. We just need to stop fentanyl. Once that's done, I think everything else can go back to like at least back to where it was with like the war on drugs and like it was like a cat and mouse game and like they were doing all sorts of stupid wild things. But like honestly, the more and more we have dispensaries and legal cannabis, at least like it takes away a lot from drinking, and that lowers a lot of like the wanting to seek like illegal hard drugs. Like almost always happens when you're drinking. You go out to the bars, next thing you know. So, and anyone who's been there knows. Just thinking about another couple of my buddies that died. A rehab group. One guy, I don't know how it happened, but I just saw him in the gym when I was looking for work in between my last job. Of course, I'm going on, like third year of my job now, so it's like I've been comfortable and like rebuilding my life, you know, whereas like I don't know what's happened to him. He tried to get me on doing a job, like some plumbing kind of like contractor work. Legitimate. No, I keep thinking that like none of this is meant to sound like mafia or anything. It's about as boring as you can get. But these guys, like, if we can rebuild and like build a lot of wealth for Mexico right there, handle all the deportations, or at least as many as possible. Build a bunch of border cities where alcohol is kind of it's banned basically. You got to be like, no, can't do that here. Other stuff, try not to do that too. But weed, shrooms, all day. You can just have fun, chill. And so I told a few people I'm going to see what their input is. And the other thing is like, I'm talking to these people in China, trying to get them over here. And I told them I was flat out, I was like, Mexico might actually happen within a year or two. America, probably like 4 or 5 years. Like, it's a long process. And so, but if we can make like really boost the economy, because with the hippie farms, you can grow tons of vegetables and produce and make like a super economy right there on the border, serving like all of, because you can less is more. Like, and the reason this is new, this agriculture, is because it was born out of necessity to grow weed in secret. Ah, that was bad. And so people got really good at producing large amounts in plants that are very, very healthy in specific ways. So, what's dude doing? Anyways, um, and so now, like that, you turn a building into like a super farm, and and then also with like energy, with like nuclear generators and all this, and like what Bill Gates is doing, if they could do some of that, focus a lot of interest, and then the money for the finances, like if you get someone like Mr. Beast on the idea, charged with the socially like triggering like deportations, and it's like the last, like it's the human justice like thing to do. Like all roads point to yes, like all signs point to yes, like it's worth looking into. So, and plus it's awesome. Like coffee bar cafes, that just sounds awesome. I want to go to one right now. Like, and to think that the coffee bars, and I, I kind of get it, but I don't get it. Like the implications of taking coffee bars from the wild. Yes, like they're not used to captivity, but I mean at the same time, like dogs. Like I mean, I feel like people aren't concerned about like wanting to control another life and like dominate a life and be like, I'm right, you're wrong, like some kind of sick Stockholm syndrome type thing. Like, like I need to have like something love me unconditionally and forever. It's like, nah, you can just work on yourself, work on your relationships, work on your, whoa, all right. That's how it's gonna end. A giant monkey. King Kong's just gonna destroy us all. Because we didn't listen to Harambe. We killed Harambe. That actually could happen. Watch, like, the creator is like an ape, and it's just like, ah. There's so many different scenarios, and at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. What matters is what we can control in the here and now, and what we can do to make life better. And as long as we focus our efforts and energies on that, and encourage each other and be kind, like I think we're gonna get it okay. Like everything's a capybara to me now, but those look like toads as we get closer. Tanku Twinkle. And what are those? Capybaras? Oh, I mean, it's just such a fun idea. And everybody wins. Like, like empower a bunch of industry. So really it's just all about making living cheaper as cheap as we can. Oh. I mean, housing needs to be cheap, like, and really just alcohol. If we can, like, turn down the alcohol, everything else isn't all that bad. Like, yes, I'm even talking about, like, hard drugs. Like, even the craziest stuff I've seen, it's really alcohol. Once alcohol gets in the mix, then it's like, okay, but, like, everything else, nah. I mean, it gets weird. Just, I don't know. Whatever. It's a lot. And and it's funny because like it's so easy to draw parallels, like Mr. President or now President Trump, that's his business, his hotels, temporary housing, and the best luxury temporary housing, like his hotels and this and that. So it would not be a stretch. Like, yeah, still build the wall, but hey, slip in a few motels, or even just like, well, it all goes back to hippie farm housing units because hippies and like the like have always been very efficient at making grow houses and grow rooms. Like, you have to be. You got limited space and everything. You got to maximize the output. So there is a fine science to all of it. Okay, that's on par. And there's plenty of people, like an amnesty program. Like, I mean, if we let out all the other people that are in jail and prison for growing and distributing mass quantities of weed, like, they should be out too. Weed's weed. Like, just because they went all. I mean, if anything, I would think they're more commendable because of all the drugs to do. And since we've made it, basically pointless, like, you might as well, like, go for the gusto with the stuff that makes the money because at the end of the day, like weed's gonna get you in just as much trouble. That's a horrible message to send to people. Like, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible, and it's childish, really. I mean, just the fact that there is no like, I'm having some pretty good conversations with people on the social medias that like, finding out, yeah, there's carcinogens in cannabis smoke. So okay, well, let's avoid that or do like, let's zero in on that problem. Let's like work together to fix it. Okay, what's next? It's like, oh, well, it smells bad. Okay, delegate it to certain areas and make it very restricted. Like, but then you got to give people areas to enjoy it. Otherwise, you're forcing them to do it in places that you're not going to want them to do it. Okay, so there's that. What's next? All the kids are using it. Well, with more regulation and legalization and control, no, they're not. I mean, people can be just as like ever strict on finding people that have it and making sure that they're legitimate, like they're not out there supplying to teenagers and whatnot. And even then, like, I have a hard time agreeing because, like, I feel like it's almost like the wine thing with, like, families can have a glass of wine at dinner, like, especially in, like, Spain and European countries. Like, and it's just not that big of a deal. The kids go to college and they don't, like, get blackout drunk and, like, see how far they can push it. Whereas a lot of Americans, especially the ones that can't drink, is just like, yeah. I mean, and it's just a nonsense, like, clown show for everybody. College and that age, like the 20s, late teens and 20s is yeah, it's just a mess. So our goal in life is to make it the least dangerous mess possible. So, and besides that, like these hippie farms and capybara cannabis cafes, they can put anywhere. Like we got the Palestinian Israeli thing. Let's put some capybara cafes in there. Are you gonna really be like doing all that stuff with capybaras watching you? It's the accountability of a cute fuzzy creature, and then the accountability of all the people that would do something if you did anything to violate the sanctity of that cute fuzzy creature. Oh, it's so easy. Oh, I got him. Come on, Skeeter. Whee! Banjos like start playing. You know your time has come. You're cooked. Oh. Yeah, I mean, no, actually, let's do the hunting rifle. I actually hit things with the hunting rifle. You're not watching your backdrop. Your bullets are coming at me. Jeez. Oh, Godzilla just like takes me out. No. I was doing okay. Let's go fight Godzilla. So, I don't know. I think this is a very real possibility. Like, I mean, if we can just organize it, you know. Oh, and then that's the other thing. So, the Make It Right website. I guess that's what I should do. I think I'm going to take a break after this episode and just, like, really try to build a web server with some basic goals. Attach a database, I want to try looking into MongoDB. I thought I built one, and all in Node.js. So that's no JavaScript. There are packages and modules, so really it's just configuring, loading them, and if I can make like a Docker Kubernetes cluster eventually, that would be even more cool. Because then like if a website gets docked or gets doxed or destroyed or whatever, another one just pops up. So there's persistence that way, with minimal syncing done, at certain intervals, and then also building a server, a Linux box that people can log into. Wait, is that all it really is? Is just adding and removing users? So that's the other thing. I have a big old like system manual for Linux administrators, and I want to build a virtual machine that people can log into and learn. Or maybe that's the Docker, the Docker Kubernetes swarm. There you go. Or Kubernetes clusters and it's basically for learning coding, because Coding Game is awesome and they have a lot of great resources for now. But what happens if they decide to take any of that out? It's like I don't have an end game plan. So if I make a web server that has this stuff, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm just like talking about this in my head. So, but what does that mean? That means I want to get some Node.js practice, and I just need to link a database and be able to show like different things, and really a couple different databases. So like the keeping government accountability is like showing all the laws that have been voted on, who would have benefited, who would have not benefited, and that way we can just see easily see the history of all politics and the methods why. And honestly, like even just to like bring some clarity between the sorry, now my voice is really cracking, but like just to bring some clarity and like closure to some stuff like, oh shoot, that's not good. They're down there. Oh, I see. Oh. That was interesting. Oh, you killed Godzilla. Where is it? Oh. Oh. No. I mean, there we go. Okay. Well, I got some crystals. I don't know what the crystals do, but we'll see. Oh wait, can I roar? What should I do? No time. Our location has been exposed. Hmm. Ah. Ah. Okay. That's fair enough. And we're almost at 40 minutes, so ta-ta for now. I'm gonna go enjoy my I'm gonna go blaze, and I'm gonna go work on a web server. There you go. I just feel bad because I still gotta be careful if there's like two people out there that can't know. It sucks. At least for now. But anyways, ta-ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.